What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Draft Ranking Show. I'm Cody Carpentier. We're back today with a mock draft. It's Thursday, March 6th. We're less than 50 days to the 2025 NFL Draft, and today we're talking New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints are in a massive, massive cap hell right now. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to kick the tires on a 2025 NFL mock draft. New Orleans Saints style. We'll see what they dial in. They're picking here from the 9th overall selection. They also pick at 40 in round 2, 71 and 93 in round 3, 111, 130 in round 4, and then they have 185 and 254 as their next picks in line. We're post combine now, so we got a little bit more intel. Some of the mock drafts that we've seen come across the last couple days have been an array of different things for the New Orleans Saints, especially at the top of the first round, whether it's going tight end with Tyler Warren, going Shamar Stewart, going Jahdae Barron, going Jalen Walker. Like a lot of different directions have happened with New Orleans. Another interesting aspect to the Saints is the quarterback position. They have Derek Carr. They said that they're good rolling with Carr. They obviously kind of have to contractually going into the season. But will they address the quarterback position to potentially see if they can get something down the road? That's kind of my biggest question here for the New Orleans Saints. So we're going to jump right into that today on the Draft Ranking Show. Remember to click that like button, click subscribe. I really appreciate you guys each jumping on in here. Just a reminder, just over 90% of you that watch the show are not subscribed. So it would be greatly appreciated if you just took a second to click that subscribe button. It's super easy. The show happens every single day, 7 a.m. Eastern time. It's just me. We're here grinding through to kind of grow this channel. So thank you guys for taking the second to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you're listening on podcast, remember to click that like button. And if you're listening through the Player Profiler Podcast Network, which is where it rolls out every single day at 7 p.m., remember, you can go over and you can find the Draft Ranking Show, its own channel is on podcast, on Spotify, on Apple, wherever you get your podcast. You can just type in the Draft Ranking Show, has its own channel with all of our shows every single day at 7 a.m. You can get the show 12 hours earlier on podcast if you just go to the main feed. If you guys go over there, please do that. Please leave a 5-star review and tap in. All right, enough of that stuff. Sorry to bore you with it. Let's jump in to the New Orleans Saints sitting here, pick 9 in cap hell, literally about 50 million below the cap. All right, here we go. Pick number 9. Let's start out the draft. If you can watch it on YouTube, you can see it. The top 8 picks go Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Armin Membu, Mason Graham, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell, Shamar Stewart, Ashton Jeanty in no order. Shedeur Sanders is still available there at pick 9, but we're going to go ahead and pass on the Shedeur Sanders train at the quarterback position here. The direction we're going to go with the New Orleans Saints, some team needs that I have addressed for them on my spreadsheet is receiver, tight end, D-line, running back, corner, and edge. Running back's interesting because of Ashton Jeanty and the Alvin Kamara conversation. Jeanty, obviously, in this mock, according to PFF, went 3rd overall to the Giants. I don't think they're going to make that mistake again, but he's gone nonetheless. Ted McMillan is available here at pick 9. I don't like that. Tyler Warren, positionally, I don't think it makes sense to go tight end or receiver for what the Saints have built, nor do I think it makes sense to go running back. I like D-line, I like edge, I like corner. To this point, the only 2 edges that have come off the board are Abdul Carter and Shamar Stewart. So I'm going to go ahead and peek in at the edge room. James Pierce, Mikael Williams are available, as well as listed at linebacker, but edge rusher in my book is Jalen Walker as well from Georgia. You can also look on the defensive line, and you can see that Kenneth Grant is available. Walter Nolan's available. A lot of options here, I think, on the defensive line. You can also look at cornerback, like I talked about. Jahdae Barron is available. Will Johnson is available. For these purposes of this mock, I'm going to go corner with Jahdae Barron, the Thorpe winner from Texas. Obviously, Marcus Lattimore was a mainstay in the Saints defense. I think they need to get back to that. I know they drafted Kool-Aid McKinstry last year. You add Jahdae Barron in here, and all of a sudden you got 2 good cornerbacks that I think continue to allow this Saints back end to kind of tighten up in the NFC South. So I like this with Jahdae Barron going to the Saints at pick 9. Let's make that selection and go on to pick number 40. All right, pick number 40 comes around. The last couple of selections, Shador Sanders actually falls all the way to 37, where he goes to the Raiders in this particular mock. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to, when I drop my next mock, it's going to be 4 rounds. It's probably going to come out on Monday. We'll do a show talking about it. I'm not going to have Shador falling to the second round. Gray Zabel goes, Donovan Jackson goes, and here at pick 40, here's my take here is Tyler Shook, the quarterback from Louisville, is going to go at pick 40 to the New Orleans Saints. That's the play. He's either going to be quarterback 3 or quarterback 4 off the board, depending on what Jackson Dart, if Jackson Dart it goes. There's also murmurs of Jalen Milroe. Pick 40, I think the Saints are going quarterback. The Saints are in quiet quarterback. They're obviously not one of the top teams you look at when you look at quarterback. Yeah, that's Tennessee, Cleveland, the Giants, the Jets, the Raiders. But I think the Saints are the next team in line. I know they have Carr, but if they can potentially get a Shook in there for a year, learn under Carr, take over for Carr, that would do immense things for getting back out of that cap hell that the Saints have kind of placed themselves in. All right, pick 71. We're back on the clock here, and I'm now looking at receiver. I'll now look at tight end. I'll consider running back. I think you'd obviously look at defensive line and edge. Let's peek in there first because that's positionally where I think this class is extremely strong. We have Deon Walker that fall to us at pick 77. Or 71. That's an interesting spot there for Deon Walker. I think that's a value. Josiah Stewart, undersized edge rusher from Michigan. That's an interesting one as well. I'm going to check out receiver and tight end. Mason Taylor's available here at pick 71. I love that. The rest of these receivers, I'm not a big fan of. I'm going to go Mason Taylor here at pick 71. I think in the real draft, I think this is maybe a 10 or 15 pick value in comparison to where I believe he goes. So I'm going to go Mason Taylor, the tight end, the son of Jason Taylor, the nephew of Zach Thomas, former Miami Dolphin. Let's go Mason Taylor, bring him on down, join the New Orleans Saints. And we're going to have 22 picks later. And now I think we kind of forced our hand to either go running back, where it's Devin Neal, Jaden Blue, Damian Martinez, Brashard Smith from SMU. Those are interesting spots at running back. I think you can continue to kick that can. We're going to be back up in 18 picks. So I'm going to peek at D-line. I'm going to peek at the edge position, D-line, and Deon Walker continues to fall here. CJ West, who at 316 pounds ran sub 5 seconds in the 40 at the combine. He poses a value here in the third round. I think I'm going to go Deon Walker, though. Deon Walker excites me. It's a guy that comes in. He's 6'7". He's 315 pounds. He's a very good athlete. This guy played soccer growing up. He's got good footwork at Kentucky, and his value's really tanked this year in particular. When you look back at where he was predicted to go inside the beginning of the season. All right, 111. We only got 2 minutes left in the clocks. Let's get this thing cooking here. Pick 111. Let's go running back here. We got to go running back. We got to get something that could potentially work off of a Kamara in 1 year or a Kendre Miller. Where can we get some speed, maybe some pass catching out of the backfield? That's Brashard Smith, 4.39, former wide receiver from Miami, goes to SMU, has over 1,000 yards this past year. Let's go down to pick 130. Pick 130 brings us back to the defensive line. Let's go to the edge room where we see Olu Oladejo from UCLA had a great Senior Bowl. Savion Jones had a good Senior Bowl. Ja Joyner, interesting edge group throughout. I like a lot of these guys. I might kick the can. Actually, let's take Oladejo. We got to get out of here. It's 8:50. We got to get this thing in before 10. Oladejo goes here at in the 5th round. In the 6th round, we got 2 selections left. Let's go back to the wide receiver and peek that thing out. Keandre Lambert-Smith from Auburn, Ty Felton from Maryland. Those are 2 guys I really like. Keandre Lambert-Smith has really climbed up my board the last week or 2 at the combine, running sub 4.4. Shows he has that speed, that downfield speed. Let's bring that into the Caesar Superdome down there in New Orleans. The last selection for the New Orleans Saints in the 2025 NFL Draft is going to go to the offensive line. Let's scroll down here. And where'd he go? Right there. Clay Webb, Jacksonville State, another guy very underrated through the pre-draft process. Jacksonville State, Clay Webb. That's the draft. We got a B+ for Jahdae Barron. They give us an F for Tyler Shook. The draft was a C. There it is. You guys can see it on the screen. Jahdae, Tyler Shook, Mason Taylor, Deon Walker, Brashard Smith, Olu Oladejo, Keandre Lambert-Smith, and Clay Webb. I'm Cody Carpentier. This has been the Draft Ranking Show. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And we'll see you tomorrow morning.